Hello everybody and welcome to Space Daily. I'm Gabriel and today we are going to be talking about SpaceX. Now SpaceX was founded in 2001 by Elon Musk after he had some trouble trying to find an agreement with the Russians or Roscosmos about buying a Soyuz so that he could launch to Mars. He's always been interested in Mars and wanted to put a greenhouse on Mars. That's his main goal, and hopefully he'll achieve that by building his own rocket. After that, he said that he could build his own rocket so much cheaper than the Russians could, and it all started with Falcon 1. Today, we're going to be going through the rockets, SpaceX's intentions, and most importantly, where they are at today. So, I will give you guys some timestamps. Sorry about the timestamps not working in the last one, but let's dive right into it. Okay, so first up is rockets. SpaceX has one rocket that they retired, one rocket that they're currently in the middle of developing, and two rockets that they are currently launching. So, you haven't seen the Falcon 1 yet. The Falcon 1 was their first rocket with one Merlin 1E engine? I don't know, something like that. And a Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage. The engine was a little bit less powerful on the Falcon 1, but the Falcon 1 was also a bit smaller, so there was less to launch up into the sky. But let's take a look at the Falcon 1. Alright, so the Falcon 1 had two stages. The first stage had one engine, the second stage had one engine. It had many failed flights. 4 of them were classified. Some of them getting so close to orbit, it's just when the stages separated, the first one still a little bit of thrust and banged into the second one, and causing a couple failures. But SpaceX was almost out of money, and they had so they gathered some private funds and stuff, and they threw together one last with a software change instead of building a whole new rocket. The software change helped it so that when the stages separated, it wouldn't collide into each other, and it was successful. The Falcon 1 launched one more time after that, carrying a satellite, and SpaceX had some money, but they decided to cancel the Falcon 1 program after that and start working on the Falcon 9. Now, as you hopefully remember from the last video, the Falcon 9 is a 2-stage rocket with 9 Merlin 1D engines on the first stage and one Merlin 1D vacuum engine on the second stage. Now, the Falcon 9 always had 9 engines on the first stage and always had one engine on the second stage. But there were many different variants of the Falcon 9. Let's take a look at all those variants side by side. So the Falcon 9 version 1.0 was very small compared to the other Falcon 9s. It had 2 stages like the other ones. Like I said, everything's the same except it didn't have a circle the way the engines worked. It was a square. Now Falcon 9 version 1.1 and version 1.2 or full thrust were basically the same. It had landing legs and grid fins, except they were a little bit different in size. Now, Falcon 9 Block 5 is what you see today. It has a really cool black feature to it, and the new Dragon 2 capsule, but it's a pretty cool rocket, if you ask me. So now that you've taken a look at that chart, and if you want to go back, you can always pause it and go back, or do whatever you want. But now you know that the Falcon 9 had many different variants. But not only that, it had so many different small changes along the way, like the addition of grid fins and landing legs. They were all last-minute additions on the version 1.1. Now, you may be wondering, why did they go from version 1.0 to 1.1 to 1.2 to Block 5? Shouldn't it be like Block 3? Well, actually, because they made many small changes on version 1.2, so about 5 changes, making it Block 5. Or that's what most people think. SpaceX didn't really release any information about that. But next up, we're going to take a look at Falcon Heavy. Now it's time for Falcon Heavy. You may be wondering, why did it take Falcon Heavy so long to get developed and stuff? They said they would have it. They announced the idea of Falcon Heavy in about 2010, and they said it'd be out in a couple months. That's really ambitious because you have to build a new rocket and stuff like that. SpaceX thought that they could build the Falcon Heavy and they could use it for moon landings. And they can, but they decided not to certify it because of the next one that we're going to talk about soon. But Falcon Heavy, because it ended up coming out in 2018, about almost 10 years since Falcon Heavy was supposed to come out, there was only 2 variants. So let's take a look at those 2 variants. The first variant is basically version 1.2, and the second variant is Block 5, the Falcon Heavy version. Like I said for the Falcon 9 chart, I'm going to say the same for the Falcon Heavy chart. You can pause it and take a look at it yourself. Feel free to pause me. But anyway, we're going to move on to our next and final rocket, the BFR, or Starship. Once again, I talked about this yesterday, but we're going to go over it in a little bit more depth. Now it's time to talk about the iconic Starship. There are 2 stages, and it's fully reusable. Starship sounds like a dream come true. Though it may look like so futuristic and so big that it's impossible, it's not really that way. So on the first stage, there will be 35 Raptor engines. On the second stage, there will be 6 Raptor engines. Elon Musk says he's hoping for one more, but there's no way that the Starship's going to be able to launch like that, or so we think so far. But the Starship is so incredible. Right now, they have had many different variants of it. Elon Musk first proposed the idea in about 2016, saying that it'll be done around 2020. Now, obviously, it's almost the end of 2020, and we still have no Starship. And deadlines keep getting pushed back. And right now, they're said to be done around 2022. As you know, Elon Musk is not really good about deadlines, so he probably won't be done by 2022. Most people think that's impossible, but SpaceX is a hare, like I said. Bunny, just jump in and keep on going. So that'll do it for rockets. Now it's time for our next subject. Now SpaceX has some really high intentions that we're going to be talking about right now. SpaceX was founded in 2001 by Elon Musk, and Elon Musk's reason was because he had trouble trying to buy a rocket from Russia. Now, Russia got angry with SpaceX, and SpaceX got angry with Russia. But anyway, SpaceX, he wants to make the rocket that they're going to take to the Mars, and they're going to put the greenhouse on Mars with, to be as cheap as possible. That's why Starship's going to be fully reusable. Now, they're planning on launching the first Starship to low Earth orbit in around 2021 to 2022. Now, as you know, SpaceX and Elon Musk are not good with deadlines and timelines and predicting stuff. They said that they'd be done with Starship by 2020. They'd probably be doing round trips to the moon by 2020, and it's almost the end of 2020 and nothing. Come on! No? Okay. But anyway, next up, we are going to be talking about what SpaceX is currently doing right now. Let's go talk about that. Okay, so now that we know what SpaceX's intentions and their rockets are, let's talk about what they're doing right now. Right now, they're in the middle of building their Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy rockets. They're also in the middle of developing and building their Starships and their Starship test vehicles. SpaceX, about 1 to 2 times a week on average, they launch a satellite or many satellites for a company or companies. Sometime soon, the GPS 3, or did that already? No, GPS SSOV 3 is supposed to launch on board a Falcon 9. Starlink 12 launched this morning, or on the 6th at around 7:40. So that'll do it for me at Space Daily. I'm Gabriel. We'll see you guys next time.